hablas español? Parlez-vous français? 你会说中文吗? If you answered sí, oui, or 会, and you're watching this in English, chances are you belong to the world's bilingual and multilingual majority. And besides having an easier time traveling or watching movies without subtitles, knowing 2 or more languages means that your brain may actually look and work differently than those of your monolingual friends. So, what does it really mean to know a language? Language ability is typically measured in 2 active parts, speaking and writing, and 2 passive parts, listening and reading. While a balanced bilingual has near equal abilities across the board in 2 languages, most bilinguals around the world know and use their languages in varying proportions. And depending on their situation and how they acquired each language, they can be classified into 3 general types. For example, let's take Gabriella, whose family immigrates to the US from Peru when she's 2 years old. As a compound bilingual, Gabriella develops 2 linguistic codes simultaneously with a single set of concepts, learning both English and Spanish as she begins to process the world around her. Her teenage brother, on the other hand, might be a coordinate bilingual, working with 2 sets of concepts, learning English in school while continuing to speak Spanish at home and with friends. Finally, Gabriella's parents are likely to be subordinate bilinguals, who learn a secondary language by filtering it through their primary language. Because all types of bilingual people can become fully proficient in a language regardless of accent or pronunciation, the difference may not be apparent to a casual observer. But recent advances in brain imaging technology have given neurolinguists a glimpse into how specific aspects of language learning affect the bilingual brain. It's well known that the brain's left hemisphere is more dominant in analytical and logical processes, while the right hemisphere is more active in emotional and social ones, though this is a matter of degree, not an absolute split. The fact that language involves both types of functions, while lateralization develops gradually with age, has led to the critical period hypothesis. According to this theory, children learn languages more easily because the plasticity of their developing brains lets them use both hemispheres in language acquisition, while in most adults, language is lateralized to one hemisphere, usually the left. If this is true, learning a language in childhood may give you a more holistic grasp of its social and emotional contexts. Conversely, recent research showed that people who learned a second language in adulthood exhibit less emotional bias and a more rational approach when confronting problems in the second language than in their native one. But regardless of when you acquire additional languages, being multilingual gives your brain some remarkable advantages. Some of these are even visible, such as higher density of the gray matter that contains most of your brain's neurons and synapses, and more activity in certain regions when engaging a second language. The heightened workout a bilingual brain receives throughout its life can also help delay the onset of diseases like Alzheimer's and dementia by as much as 5 years. The idea of major cognitive benefits to bilingualism may seem intuitive now, but it would have surprised earlier experts. Before the 1960s, bilingualism was considered a handicap that slowed a child's development by forcing them to spend too much energy distinguishing between languages, a view based largely on flawed studies. And while a more recent study did show that reaction times and errors increase for some bilingual students in cross-language tests, it also showed that the effort and attention needed to switch between languages triggered more activity in, and potentially strengthened, the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex. This is the part of the brain that plays a large role in executive function, problem solving, switching between tasks, and focusing while filtering out irrelevant information. So, while bilingualism may not necessarily make you smarter, it does make your brain more healthy, complex, and actively engaged. And even if you didn't have the good fortune of learning a second language as a child, it's never too late to do yourself a favor and make the linguistic leap from hello to hola, bonjour, or ni haos, because when it comes to our brains, a little exercise can go a long way.
how to get kites up in the air, and what keeps them flying. Do different types of kite have different flying capabilities? How does size and weight affect the ability of a kite to fly? All these questions and more comes to mind as we look up at the array of kites that fill a sky at a large festival. To answer some of these questions, let me demonstrate a simple experiment through the next activity. I will use two different densities of cardboard. See what happens to the cardboards when I switch on the fan. Now, you will do one simple experiment in your group. The experiment will look at the effect of weight and lift. I will see you after you are done. Hi! The experiment was to show you the effect of forces such as lift and weight acting on the cardboards. In the experiment, the cardboard stays in the air due to the force called lift. Your two hands holding on both left and right side of the top edge of the cardboards provide an opposite and equal force that prevents them from flying off. Also, you would have seen that the lighter piece rises slightly faster than the heavier piece. Why is it so?
This shows that it needs less lift.
How do these forces work on kites? There are also other forces acting on the kite. Let's watch Upin and Ipin again.
Satu, dua, terbang! Hello!
Cepat Fizi, cepat! Aku dah tak sabar ni. Sedia
Ish! Asyik kau je dulu.
Satu, dua,
Yeay!
Woohoo! Yeay! Woohoo! Yeay!
Seronoknya! Penatnya. Tak naik pun. Kau tak jadi ni, San. Meme punya terbang! Meme punya terbang! Tengok! Hebatlah Mimi.
Wah, hebat dong.
Jangan!
Ya, Mimi punya jatuh.
There are four forces acting on the kite, and they are the lift, weight, thrust, and drag. The lift is the force that stops a kite from falling down. Lifts as a cause by streamline curvature pushes.
What do you think to lift of the kite? Like it should be horizontal,
Yeah.
45 or 90?
I think it should be horizontal.
Should be horizontal?
Yeah.
Why don't you give it a go?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's try. Here, Keshav, you can hold this one. And then, okay, I think you have to go a bit further.
Yeah.
On him, yes. Yes, oh.
Do I run now?
Okay, 1, 2, 3. पूरा ऐसे मांगोर हो थोड़ा ऊपर कि पूरा ऊपर थोड़ा ऊपर ऐसे okay which means 45 degrees angle right
Yes.
okay try कर जा let's give it a go okay run
Ready, go!